Next up, let's quickly talk about how we can set default values for props. So let's say that there's some prop that wasn't passed in and we want to have a default value for any missing props. There's a pretty easy solution, an easy workaround. All we do is define an object called default props, and it does need to be called that. And inside of there, we put key value pairs. So the default for from this.props.from should be Joel, and so on. So I have a simple example, our hello component. We won't type it all from scratch. This is going back to an earlier video. I have a new folder if you want to follow along, default props 5. And inside of here, all that we have is our index. We've got the index.js where we're passing in to, from, and bangs. Sure. So bangs was the exclamation points. Let's duplicate this and say we want to leave off the from. It might be anonymous. So let's make this one to George from anonymous. Okay, so back in our hello component, right now we're displaying this.props.from, and we're just assuming it's there. If you look at what we have, hi George from, and then nothing. So to fix that, we can come back here and we're going to define at the top static default props equals, and then we can set from, if I can spell it, to be, let's say, anonymous. Anonymous, I think that's how you spell it. Let's verify, does that work? There we go. Hi, George from anonymous. So another example, we have this bangs value that controls the number of exclamation points. So if you don't pass it in, maybe we'll have the exclamation points default to some number. Right now, if we don't pass it in, what happens? On this example, this hello, we're only passing in George. We end up with no exclamation points. So let's come back over here. Over here. And we'll set bangs in props to be the number 1. Add the comma in. And now we have by default 1 exclamation point, 1 bang. And we have anonymous as a default prop as well for this.props.from. Okay, so this is all you have to do to make those default values. This can be useful, especially when we're talking about things later on like colors. Often you might want to have a default color set and a user can override it by passing it in as a prop. And just to prove this to you, I mean, this probably is obvious, but if we just change this to be some other name, it doesn't take effect, right? That's a particular name we have to follow as part of using React. Okay, so that's how you can create default props.